Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs.
It's likely you've experienced this scenario with your family or friends. Sitting down in front of the TV to watch a Christmas film, and someone mentions Die Hard. The debate begins. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Why not? Because it's just not. A 2018 poll found 62% of American adults didn't think Die Hard was a Christmas film. But I'm one of the 38% that believes that it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from Nakatomi Plaza. I'm going to look at the following criteria to settle the argument for good. Time frame, music, emotional drive, anti-Christmas elements, viewing traditions. So you can all see why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Firstly, does a film have to be set around Christmas to be considered a festive film? Christmas films are normally set in the run-up to Christmas, or actually on Christmas Day. Sticklers could argue that there are some films set in or around Christmas that don't feel particularly Christmassy, like Iron Man 3 or 3 Days of the Condor. But their stories aren't dominated by Christmas. There's nothing that explicitly links the plot or character motivation to Christmas time. Die Hard is set during an office party on Christmas Eve. And Christmas is the entire reason that John McClane is even in LA. So it meets the time-relevant criteria and gets a tick from us.
So you got any Christmas music?
This is Christmas music.
Does containing a festive soundtrack make the film a Christmas film? Festive movies are often filled with uplifting or soaring scores that reflect the magic and joy of holidays. I spoke to a composer about what kinds of music we see in Christmas films.
In Christmas films, we often get pieces played in the piano, and this is because as composers we know that many people have pianos at their home, or piano is an instrument really commonly found in public spaces, and this allows us to feel a connection with the music that we're hearing. We have songs, sung a cappella, also piano scores and strings. Brass can create this really punchy sound.
The Die Hard soundtrack contains accessible, well-known family favourites, a whistled a cappella rendition of Jingle Bells, piano tunes, the brassy Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, and overall just a load of explicitly Christmassy tunes. So that's another tick for Die Hard. Which brings us to... does a film have to contain a recognisable moral pattern? Scrooged, Miracle on 34th Street. The plot of a classic Christmas film seems to base around someone learning a lesson, doing the right thing. We also see this in contested Christmas films like Frozen or Harry Potter, which feature characters following a moral compass. Like the ghost in A Christmas Carol, Sergeant Powell in Die Hard acts as a spiritual guide for the central character.
You know, when you're a rookie, they can teach you everything about being a cop except how to live with a mistake.
Another constant is that greed is overcome. The pursuit of material wealth is replaced with the characters learning the true meaning of Christmas: family, love, and appreciation of the gift of life. We see this throughout Die Hard, with John McClane reconnecting with his estranged wife and the downfall of attempted robber Hans Gruber. So that's another tick for Die Hard. But Die Hard is a violent action movie. Surely that can't be a Christmas film. Normally at this point, festive haters would pop up and say, what about plain old Christmas horror? Black Christmas, Jack Frost. They're not really Christmassy because, like Die Hard, they're not about family, hugging and rainbows. But think about it, some of the best Christmas films also have disturbing plot lines. Home Alone 2 is essentially about a small child being chased around a city that he doesn't know by two seasoned criminals. But it still has a spirit guide, Pigeon Lady, overcoming of greed, and appreciation of family. Also, nasty things happen to well-intentioned characters. Richard Attenborough is sectioned in Miracle on 34th Street, and don't even get us started on the tongue lamppost scene in A Christmas Story. Christmas films suggest that violence itself allows us to appreciate family. Just like having an argument around the dinner table, movie violence is cathartic and purifying. James Stewart crashes into a tree, starts a fight in a bar, and tries to kill himself in what's considered the greatest Christmas film of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. In Die Hard, McClane is moody and dismissive. He sneers at a couple embracing at the airport and gets annoyed about his limo driver being almost too young. Doesn't sound very Christmassy, right? Wrong. He's not exactly dressed up as a Grinch, but McClane fits into the archetype of a bad Santa or Scrooge. Almost all classic Christmas movies have a character like this. And the violence in the movie befits other Christmas films too, so that's another tick for Die Hard. Does watching a film at Christmas make it a Christmas film? It's likely that you think of Die Hard as a Christmas film because it's always on TV anyway during Yuletide. I asked a programmer at the British Film Institute what he thought.
Is The Wizard of Oz a Christmas movie? It's a film that we associate with the holiday period. It's played every Christmas. So I think if you have that warm feeling when you watch that film and that associates it with the holiday spirit, why shouldn't it be a Christmas movie? And Die Hard, okay, it's set at Christmas. Is it specifically a Christmas movie? Well, it's got a message around trying to get back to Christmas with your family. That's his kind of raison d'etre throughout that film. So in a sense, yes.
So if you're in the habit of watching a film in late December, it's a Christmas film. That's another tick for Die Hard, according to someone who knows what a Christmas film should be. I mean, it also opens the door for pretty much any film as long as it's watched around Christmas, but that helps my argument, so I'll stick with it. This might be the reason why polls have skewed age group opinions about what constitutes a Christmas movie. For more traditional over 65s, only 19% of those quizzed say Die Hard was a Christmas movie, compared to 42% of 18 to 24-year-olds. So your parents might not agree with you, but if you needed any more convincing, John's wife is called Holly, like Holly in the Ivy, and in the film we see Christmas trees, terrible Christmas jumpers, and an awkward office party. So it's a clean sweep for Die Hard. It meets all of our criteria. Of course, we did make up all this criteria ourselves, and judge it ourselves. But we'd like to know whether you agree in the comments below.